My sister's soul left the planet last night. Life was a real challenge for her. It was not easy. She had a real hard time of it. She had cancer. It wasn't a surprise to anybody. She'd been in hospice for like a week and a half, and something she'd been battling for years. She had cancer in her brain. She had breast cancer. It was in her bones, organs. So she was a mess. And it's kind of crazy too, because they knew she was going to go out months ago, but then over the last several months they actually gave her 2 hip transplants. So what was that all about? It's a weird thing when somebody has cancer and they're in the hospital, and then they give you these other surgeries. It's like a modern day torture chamber. It's like the Bastille. Just because this way hospitals can make money. I didn't want to go off on that tangent, but that just popped into my head. What's up with that? She was begging to go. If she could have flipped her own switch, she would have done it. And that is a weird thing. I'm grateful that she and I had spoken recently. We were pretty close when we were kids, as most brothers and sisters are, but I hadn't seen her much since I left home at 14. I've been pretty far away, always on the other side of the country doing my own thing, and she was kind of hard to deal with at times. And I had this epiphany. I mean, I knew this decades ago, but this morning it jumped into my brain, where some people who are really sensitive destroy relationships because they have so much love for you. Some people, when they have a lot of love for you, if they don't feel that they're getting back the love from you, that they feel for you, they actually kind of punish you in a way every time they talk to you. I think she had that disease there. It's a real shame. But when we did talk, and when she was in a normal state of mind and lucid and whatnot, we had great conversations, and it was interesting too, because over the last few years when I spoke with her, she was always upbeat and happy. She was always trying to make everybody else feel better. She would tell you what she was going through. She didn't sugarcoat anything, but she didn't want you to feel bad for her. And our last conversation was great because we talked about so much, including death. I really wanted to talk to her about that and see where her mind was at. She did not fear it. She welcomed it, as many cancer patients do, right, if they're suffering with pain. But even before that, she and I were on the same wavelength, and she reminded me of this, and it was such a great conversation because neither she nor I believe it's lights out when you go. Right? We believe there's something else. And it's not a religion thing. I did a video you should go look at. It's death, life, death, and fear, I think. It's in my video feed there if you want to go look for it. But I had a death experience on my 50th birthday that just reconfirmed my own belief system. So, I think that, you're in this body, but you're the soul within it. And when this body goes, you go to the next thing. You're going home or whatever it is. That's a whole other conversation. So if that's a belief that you can subscribe to, believe it for yourself, make it your own reality, then you actually get to live this life right now without fear. There's so many people that are afraid of dying that they never truly live the life that they have right now. It's a gift. And they're not living because they're afraid of dying. And there's other people preparing themselves for death. It's like such a crazy thing. So, I loved my sister. She didn't always make it easy, and we could all have that issue with one another. But I did love her, and I just felt terrible for her. It's just a hard life. And it was so hard with her sometimes, talking to her, that I avoided it for many years. But I am glad that we spoke recently. And so if there's a message here at all, it's talk to the people in your life that matter to you, family members and whatnot. You might not be getting along with them, but you should at least give it a shot. Find out if there's some sort of misunderstanding you can come to terms with. Leave nothing unsaid. If you leave nothing unsaid, then you have no regrets. And neither do they. and you're both at peace before either one of you go. And it's just a better place to be in life. Her name was Catherine. I named her when she was a kid. They were going through the baby names, and Kitty was short for Catherine. And I was going, Kitty, Kitty, Kitty. So we all called her Kitty growing up. And she was a sweet soul. She just wasn't tough enough for this world, you know. Anyhow, cancer sucks. And be good to one another. And tell one another you love each other. And be honest about your feelings with one another. Treat each other well, even if you're not getting what you think you want to get from another person. There's nothing wrong with telling somebody, listen, this is how I feel about you. I don't feel that you give me enough out of it. It'll start a conversation. It's okay. And if somebody hits you up with that and you don't feel the same way, it's okay to talk to them about it. And if you have an argument, time will heal that. And eventually you can talk that out too. So just believe that this is not all there is. There's another thing, and it's better. And I'm not afraid of death. So I hope you're not either. I'll miss her. And that's it. Just be good human beings.